We've been told that Pakistan has adopted a tactical shift. It has moved away from terror launch pads to temporary operating bases along the line of control. In a significant tactical shift, Pakistan has transitioned from traditional terror launch pads to establishing temporary operating bases along the LoC. The move is being seen as a response to mounting pressure from India, the looming threat of surgical strikes, and the increased international scrutiny. My colleague Ajay Jandal with us on the broadcast. Ajay, if you can take our viewers through the details, interesting developments that are taking place.
Well, yes, these are the exclusive pictures we have access. That's how Pakistan is, shifting its launch pad to the temporary operating bases, and they are putting terrorists over there near the line of control, so that whenever they get chance, they can infiltrate to this side of the Jammu and Kashmir in Rajouri, Poonch especially. Listen, what has happened that in the recent past, what I've seen that terror activities, especially in the Rajouri, Poonch district area, that have increased. We have seen that number of terror attacks and encounters has taken place in this area. That was a matter of concern for the authorities. But during the investigation, what they have found that Pakistan have moved the launch pads which were there across the Rajouri, Poonch in the Pakistan occupied Kashmir to this area, which is right near to the line of control. And according to our information, that terrorists, those who were basically there in the launch pads in Mirpur, Kotli, and other areas, they have been shifted to near the line of control, which basically are the civilian houses. And these houses are being used by the terrorists nowadays, after Pakistan Army had decided this as a temporary operating basis. A number of villages like Paksar, across the Nushara sector, there is a Pukharni and other areas. These areas have been used by the terrorists to stay there, and whenever they are basically getting chance, they want to infiltrate to this side. In the recent past, we have seen that in Akhnur sector area, in Chamb sector, 2 terrorists were neutralized when they were trying to infiltrate to this side. And other drone activities were also spotted when weapons and IDs were recovered by the security forces in this area in the Planwala sector. So these are the same areas. Not only they are using these launch pads as a temporary operating basis, but also they are using these houses to launch drones to drop the weapons and drugs to this side of the Jammu and Kashmir in Rajouri, so that terrorists, those who are moving in this area, those who are operating, they can be refueled with the weapons and ammunition. So these are the Pakistan's plans which we are exposing on our channel, that how Pakistan have planned new dirty things to carry out attacks and to carry out target killing of the civilians in the Rajouri, Poonch area.
At the same time, Ajay, how exactly have the forces and our intelligence agencies then realized that Pakistan is now looking at making some of these temporary bases? You've mentioned, of course, some of the areas, Ajay, where these bases have been found, and you've said that mainly it was Nali, Bhimbar, Chattar, Paksar, Pukhrni and Magyal, which was each serving as a terrorist hub. How exactly were then they identified? We're putting out those visuals on our screens as well. What sort of activity was noticed in some of these areas?
Well, see, what was happening that after the abrogation of 370 for last 3-4 years, what Pakistan was trying to do, that Pakistan was trying to raise this Kashmir issue with the international fora. But at the same time, international fora, they have seen that nothing is happening in the Jammu and Kashmir. Kashmir is peaceful. More than 2 crores tourists they are visiting Jammu and Kashmir. That indicates that after the abrogation of 370, things have changed in Jammu and Kashmir, and this is the new Kashmir. No stone pelting, no terror-related attack or anything like that is happening, which was happening in the past before the abrogation of 370. So that is what basically Pakistan was facing. Even the recruitment in the Jammu and Kashmir in the terror groups, that have declined to 70 to 80% in Jammu and Kashmir. That was the reason that Pakistan wanted to basically once again create trouble in Jammu and Kashmir. So they have chosen Rajouri in the Poonch district, because this is a thick forest area, and Pakistan is expecting that terrorists can get support base over here from the local, some nefarious people, so that they can carry out attacks here. And that's why if you see that in last 3-4 years, what has happened, that number of terror attacks in Rajouri, Poonch have increased, number of activities in Rajouri, Poonch have increased. So that is why Pakistan have planned it that they want to push in more and more terrorists in the Rajouri Poonch so that they can once again use the hideouts in the forest area in Rajouri Poonch as a terror hub, and then they can revive terrorism in this region so that they can carry out attacks on the civilians and the defense forces. Even yesterday we have broke the story that Pakistan want to carry out attacks on the senior politicians as well. So this was the new plan of Pakistan, and for that purpose, Pakistan wanted to, push in the terrorists here in the Rajouri Poonch area, and that was only possible by placing these terrorists in the civilian houses, so that if Indian forces they retaliate to the launch pad, if after this recent attack, the terrorists can save, and if they will be attacked in the civilian houses, then they can cry once again that people, those who lived in the civil houses, they have been attacked by the Indian forces. So that could be the plan of Pakistan. But we security forces got this input on time, and that's why they have strengthened their grid, anti-infiltration grid on the line of control, and that's why we have seen that 22nd and 23rd night, 2 terrorists were gunned down when they were trying to sneak in here in the in the Akhnur sector. We have seen that drone dropping which took place on 24th of this month, that was also foiled, and 6 IDs to carry, which seems that Pakistan was planning to carry out major serial blast here in the Jammu region. That was also foiled, and weapons was recovered. Even yesterday we have shown that in Poonch, district near the line of control in Mender sector, pistols, hand grenades were recovered. So that indicates that Pakistan basically using these, temporary operating bases, which are the houses, civilian houses near the line of control, near the fenced area, as a launch pad of terrorists, as well as the launch pad for the drones, so that they can push in weapons, drugs, and other things here in the Rajouri Poonch. So, terrorists, those who are operating here, they can carry out major attacks here. But our forces, they are alert enough and continuously foiling their attempt. And they are basically, they are ensuring that civilians, those who lives in that area, they will not get hampered. They are not targeted, and that's why major searches and cordon operations are going on over here in the Rajouri Poonch area. We have seen that on 1st of this month, when security forces, they were on the search operation. They were attacked in the DK area, Dera Ki Gali area, in which 4 of our brave soldiers, they lost their lives. But even after that, they are ensuring that civilian has to be saved, civilian areas has to be saved, the population has to be saved, and our line of control, our border has to be protected properly. And they are definitely bravely, doing the searches and ensuring that every plan of Pakistan has to be foiled.
Right, absolutely, Ajay. Thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.